In the year 2347, humanity had reached the stars. Colonies dotted distant planets, trade routes spanned galaxies, and alliances were forged with alien species whose technologies made human inventions look like toys. Yet, despite all their advancements, one thing remained constant: humanity's baffling choice of weaponry. On board the starship Eclipse Asterisk, Captain Marcus Rylan leaned back in his chair, staring at the holographic display hovering above the conference table. His crew, engineers, pilots, and strategists, sat around him, their faces tense as they reviewed the latest intel from command. "We're being sent to negotiate with the Vorthak," Marcus began, his voice steady but tinged with skepticism. "They claim our military presence near their borders is an act of aggression." "An act of aggression," Lieutenant Eva Calloway scoffed, her arms crossed. "Last I checked, we haven't fired a single shot. We've been using drones for surveillance, not weapons." Marcus nodded grimly. "Exactly. But apparently, just seeing us carry what we consider standard equipment has them spooked." Eva tilted her head, her brow furrowing. "What do you mean?" "Our standard gear isn't exactly intimidating compared to what other species use. Half the galaxy fights with plasma cannons or gravity disruptors. Meanwhile, we're still lugging around." She trailed off, unable to finish the sentence without laughing. Across the room, Chief Engineer Theo Grant chimed in, his deep voice rumbling like distant thunder. "Let's say it out loud, shall we?" Theo said, leaning forward. "We're carrying sticks." The room erupted into stifled laughter. It was true. Humanity's primary weapon, the one they'd used since ancient times, was quite literally a stick, or rather, something very close to it, a reinforced carbon fiber baton capable of delivering a powerful kinetic strike. Command had deemed it efficient and versatile. The aliens they encountered often found it ridiculous. The Eclipse Asterisk arrived at the designated meeting point, a desolate asteroid field orbiting a dying star. The Vorthak delegation awaited them aboard their sleek obsidian black vessel. As Marcus and his team boarded the alien ship, they couldn't help but feel underdressed. While the Vorthak wore shimmering exosuits bristling with energy weapons, the humans carried only their trusty batons. "Welcome, humans," rumbled Zarvuk, the leader of the Vorthak delegation. His voice sounded like grinding metal, and his 6 glowing eyes scanned the group suspiciously. "You bring no firearms, no explosives?" "Nope," Marcus replied, holding up his baton. "Just these." Zarvuk stared at the weapon, clearly perplexed. "This, Rod? This is your method of combat?" "It's effective," Marcus said firmly, though he felt a twinge of embarrassment. "It doesn't rely on ammunition or complex systems. It's simple, reliable, and gets the job done." Zarvuk exchanged glances with his subordinates. "Simple, yes, but also primitive. Tell me, Captain Rylan, how does such a crude tool compare to advanced weaponry?" Before Marcus could answer, Eva stepped forward. "With respect, Ambassador, simplicity is strength. Our weapons don't malfunction. They don't require rare resources to produce, and most importantly, they don't escalate conflicts unnecessarily." Zarvuk's mandibles twitched, a sign of intrigue or perhaps amusement. "You speak boldly, but actions speak louder than words. Perhaps a demonstration would clarify your claims." Marcus hesitated. Demonstrations weren't part of the plan. Still, refusing might seem cowardly. He glanced at his crew, who gave subtle nods of encouragement. "Very well," Marcus said. "But remember, this is non-lethal. No harm will come to anyone." The demonstration took place in a simulated environment within the Vorthak ship. Holographic enemies materialized around the humans, armed with various weapons ranging from pulse rifles to energy shields. Marcus signaled for his team to spread out. As the simulation began, chaos erupted. Energy bolts zipped past their heads, forcing them to dodge and weave. Eva ducked behind cover, then lunged forward, swinging her baton with precision. She struck a holographic attacker square in the chest, disabling its shield generator. Another swung wildly with a melee weapon, only to be disarmed by Theo, who used his baton to trip the opponent before delivering a decisive blow. Meanwhile, Marcus faced off against a heavily armored foe. Instead of trying to overpower it directly, he feinted left, drawing the enemy into overextending its reach. With a swift motion, he jabbed the baton into a weak point on its armor, causing the hologram to flicker and vanish. When the simulation ended, silence filled the chamber. The Vorthak delegation stared at the humans, their expressions unreadable. "You fight strangely," Zarvuk finally admitted. "Your methods are unconventional, almost absurd, yet they work. Why do you persist with such rudimentary tools?" Marcus straightened, meeting Zarvuk's gaze. "Because war shouldn't always be about destruction. Sometimes it's about finding another way. These batons remind us that conflict doesn't have to end in annihilation. They force us to think, adapt, and survive, not just destroy." Zarvuk considered this for a long moment. Then, unexpectedly, he chuckled, a low, mechanical sound. "Perhaps there is wisdom in your madness, Captain Rylan. Your people value restraint, even if your weapons appear laughable." Back aboard the Eclipse Asterisk, the crew gathered in the lounge to debrief. Despite the tension earlier, the mission had gone better than expected. The Vorthak agreed to open negotiations, intrigued by humanity's unorthodox approach to warfare. "So what did we learn today?" Eva asked, raising an imaginary glass in toast. "That sometimes the dumbest-looking weapon can teach the smartest lesson?" Theo grinned. "Or maybe we learned that everyone else in the galaxy needs to lighten up." Marcus smiled faintness, looking out the viewport at the endless expanse of stars. "Maybe both. Either way, let's keep doing things our way. After all, it's worked so far." And as the Eclipse Asterisk sailed deeper into the cosmos, its crew knew that no matter how strange or outdated their weapons seemed, they carried something far more valuable: the belief that solutions didn't always require destruction, and sometimes the simplest answers were the strongest.